Andrew Teller was just telling me that they're also the largest owner of cars in the world. So I want to ask you, you differentiate. You said not a national gas tax, but stable prices. Why would someone whose business depends on cars want higher gas prices?
Well, I think here in the United States, we sort of handicap ourselves because, about a little over a year ago, it was $4 a gallon. Now you're around $2.40, $2.50, depending on where you're living. And it confuses consumers as to what they should buy. And some consumers might say, well, I think it's going to cost $4 next year, so I'm going to buy small. Other consumers say, wow, it's cheap now, I'll buy the big car. The manufacturers really have a very difficult time identifying what kind of vehicles to build. And new models take a couple of years anyway. So in Europe, where they do have stable energy costs.
And where you do a lot of business.
We do a lot of business over there. And manufacturers understand what consumers want, and they know what to build, and it's very efficient. And one of the benefits, if we had a stable energy price, is that all this new technology, which relates to sustainability and climate, that can be rolled out with the understanding of just what the economics would be comparing, say, electricity with gas.
So how would you do that? Would a national gas tax? What should Congress do in that respect?
Maybe this is just pie in the sky. I don't know. I'm not a politician, but we have talked to people on Capitol Hill, and I call it, when I speak with them, I call it sort of the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and say all this stuff about the car manufacturers, which we have rehabilitated. There really is a handicap there in terms of what should they be building. Now, obviously, Chrysler is going to press ahead with some of the smaller cars that Fiat technology has, which is very good. GM has got the Volt, but if the gas price is very, very cheap, what's really going to happen to those vehicles that they're going to put a huge investment in?
Well, what are you buying? What are you putting an investment in? You all have a fleet of hybrids. You've looked at different kinds of cars. What do you want to buy?
Well, we want to buy cars that consumers want to drive. And so
Are those American cars yet?
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, yes. I can tell you right now that the product coming out of Detroit is really, really good. Whether you talk about Ford or you talk about Chrysler or even GM, the quality is really, really good. It's so close, maybe even better. The perceptual quality maybe is lower compared to, say, some of the foreign manufactured vehicles, but the actual quality is quite good.
So going forward, where do you see the U.S. car industry from here? You guys are doing some innovative stuff. You're doing car sharing, but still your core is rental. Are you satisfied with the product that you're getting from the manufacturers you buy from?
Well, since we're the largest purchaser and owner of vehicles, we have to have relationships with virtually all car manufacturers, offshore, onshore. And so we want to work very closely with those manufacturers. And in some cases, we can be the petri dish, if you will, for these new technology vehicles that are going to come out. So maybe the Chevrolet Volt we can help in an introduction with, or a new Fiat-style Chrysler, some of the new Ford Escape hybrid, which isn't so new, I guess, right now. But we can be part of that because 2/3 of our renters, it's about 1 million renters a week, use these vehicles in the home city where they live and work and drive their kids and so forth. And so introducing those kind of products to people in their own environment, not just traveling, because we do a large business with travel, but in the home environment, can be a great way to collect information about the acceptability and the drivability and the performance of those vehicles.
Well, let me ask you then, because the shelf life of a rental car isn't long. We were just talking before the interview. You turn around, you sell them. What are you seeing in your sales, and what does that tell you about the state of the economy?
Well, right now, it's been a really interesting year, as everybody here at the Business Council can attest. But right now, used car sales, we call it remarketing, which we're going to take, hundreds of thousands of vehicles to market, principally to car dealers, and sell some direct, and not many, and then to auction. And right now, those vehicles are worth a lot because you had Chrysler and General Motors not producing for a while. This summer, Catch for Clunkers moved a lot of inventory out, and those clunkers that were turned in are not, they've got to be disposed of. So used car values are very high right now. There's been some conversation that, and I'm not sure of this number, but if new cars are selling at the rate of, say, 9-10 million right now, the scrappage rate would dictate that new car sales should be closer to 12 to 13 million, which would mean that we've got to, some sales have to be accelerated, or people aren't going to have vehicles to drive, certainly not reliable ones.
All right, well, I think we're close to wrapping it up. Let me ask you one quick question. We got about 20 seconds left. One of the things that struck me in the Business Council survey was unemployment. People were still pretty hesitant there. Where do you see unemployment? Say the benchmark we were given here was June 2010.
I think unemployment is the biggest challenge for the economy right now. And I think businesses like ours have really gotten themselves lean and mean and ready to go. But until we see some demand, and that goes back to some consumer spending, but then you have consumers that are not working. So that is the conundrum right now that I think we all have to work on.
All right, well, we're out of time, but I want to thank you very much, guys.